I didn't I didn't do a news of the day video yesterday because there wasn't really any news of the day. So I thought I'll just take a couple of these items and we'll just see what happens tomorrow. It's tomorrow and not a lot. So one thing that we want to talk about here first off the bat is Braden Point going to be the first one to go? See, Mitch Marner, everybody said he's going to set the market. The problem with that is Marner and his camp seem like they're fine with him not being in training camp. They feel like the pressure is going to be on the Leafs after the Nylander situation not to let it happen again. So they're fine with not being there. So does Braden Point end up being the guy? Now, I've seen rumors here and there. Here's the problem. I haven't seen the rumors from a reputable source that Braden Point's going to sign. But Point would make a lot of sense since he clearly wants to stay in Tampa and Tampa needs to keep him. So it would make sense if he was the first one to make that signing happen. And I kind of hope he does because this is getting ridiculous. It is. We're up to August 31st. Tomorrow is September. Tomorrow is the first day of September. Kids are going back to school. And we got how many people still not signed? So it's ridiculous. The NHL will not reopen the CBA. Nope. They let the NHLPA know a few days ahead of when they were supposed to, when they had to. We're not reopening it. It's a smart move. This means now the players have until September 15th. At September 15th, they could say, yeah, we're going to reopen it, which means that it becomes dead in 2020 and we face a potential for a lockout or a strike. But the expiry is 2022 if they decide, all right, we're not going to reopen it either then. So the game of chicken is officially open and the NHL has said, over to you. And it is up to the NHLPA, but whether or not they want to be the bad guys. And that's the thing, too. Somebody's going to come out of this looking like the bad guy, and the NHL has started by saying, okay, it's not going to be us. We're not going to look like the bad guys out of the gate. We're not going to lose the public relations war yet. Wayne Simmons has said that he wants Flyer fans to boo him when he comes back to the building, to which I would think Flyers fans would say, we're way ahead of you on that one, Wayne. Don't you worry about a thing. We're getting our lungs and our throats ready, and we'll be good to go. There'll be plenty of booing for you. Yeah, I told you guys not a lot's happening. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about this. Jonathan Drouin has said he wants to improve his game and not be a perimeter player. Now, I've talked about how Drouin hasn't lived up to potential because he hasn't. But he's one of those guys that if the Montreal Canadiens are going to make the playoffs and surprise people, he could be that ace in the hole. He has that ability, and that's where it gets frustrating. So when you see a guy scoring 45, 50, 55 points, and you know he's got a 75, 80-point player ability. So that's where we've been with Drouin. He's saying all the right things publicly, as all players do at this time. It's sort of like how there's out of 31 fan bases, there's 28 that could make an argument they should be a playoff team right now, and another 3 watching this video going, is he talking about us that we're not? Because I'm not happy with that. I think we can make it. So that's where we're at right now. And if Drouin can make that difference, they can go over the top. Last thing I want to talk about is something that I thought was a distinctly American article I read on ESPN, which has 6 suggestions for improving the experience at a hockey game. And I honestly, like I said, it's a very American thing because almost none of the stuff mentioned in the article was stuff that I would want at a hockey game myself. It involves like gambling and your seats and all this. But I will agree with this. Sensory sensitivity. And apparently the Vegas Golden Knights, if you have a sensory sensitivity, they give out a package along with headphones and whatnot for people who have a sensory problem. But I'm going to say, too, that when it comes to the sensory thing, there are times where the music's too loud, the lights are distracting or disorienting, and I sometimes feel like they're trying to sell this spectacle when what's on the ice is really, really interesting to me. I can go into a hockey game and sit down before the first period and not leave my seat until after the third period. And I'm fine with that. I'm there to watch a hockey game. And all the other stuff that I talked about, that's why I have sensory sensitivity and stuff. Because the other stuff I'm just sort of, yeah, whatever. Whatever. The biggest thing is, are tickets too expensive? Yes. Is that directly related to salaries, costs, and all this other stuff? Yes. Does Ticketmaster sometimes charge too much? Yes. Do scalpers sometimes rule too many tickets? Yes. But really, for me, the experience at an arena is fantastic, just as it is. And when I go to a Vancouver Giants game where you're not going to get the same strobe lights and all the effects and all this other crap, I enjoy it just as much. I find it strange because they do tend to kind of go overboard, and it's almost, on some level, it almost feels like with some markets they're throwing that spectacle out there because maybe they're trying to cater to fans that don't go to hockey very often or are curious about the game. Sell them on the game. Don't sell them on how loud your building is. Don't sell them on... because for some people, that doesn't work either, where it's just too loud. The one where, in the ESPN article, they really lost me was, they said that at your seat while you're at the game, you should be able to watch the replays and have access to the play-by-play. Oh, hell no. I don't want to be sitting at a game and have 7 phones around me with the play-by-play and hear 3 or 4 different audios that might not even be in sync of play. No. And I need a bunch of people like, hey, look, we've already got a replay on the board. You can look up, and they already show you replays. If you want the play-by-play and you want to watch it, why are you at the arena? You know what? One of the great things about watching hockey live is not hearing play-by-play. I love not hearing play-by-play. It is so much fun to just watch the game. When something happens with the audio feed and the play-by-play is gone and you can just watch the game, I find hockey's much more enjoyable. And there are times where I've been watching hockey and there's been obnoxious announcers I can't handle, and I just turn the sound off, and immediately I'm like, oh, that's better. And I notice little things when I'm watching a game and I'm not hearing somebody in my ear telling me what I'm supposed to look at that I wouldn't notice if I had somebody in my ear telling me what I'm supposed to look at. So my biggest suggestion to ESPN's article on this is I enjoy the game. Enjoy the product on the ice. That was the funny thing. They have 6 hockey suggestions for improving the experience at the rink. None of it had to do with the hockey on the ice. None of it. So, ticket prices, bringing them down? Sure. Is it going to happen? Never. It's never happened. It's not going to start now. If you're in an area where you go, our ticket prices came down, did your team make the playoffs? Did they sell out? The answer to that is no on both counts. It may be yes on one or the other, but not on both. So, yeah, that's where we're at today. It's kind of a slow day because it's Saturday, August 31st. But we are less than 2 weeks away from training camp. And these restricted free agents, you're on the clock. You guys are on the clock. Stop looking for somebody else. If you're waiting for Mitch Marner, stop it. He's not signing. And I'm not saying that to alarm Toronto fans. It's pretty clear right now. Mitch Marner is not going to be the first domino to fall. I really think it's going to be Braden Point. So let me know in the comment section below, who do you think signs first out of the big names? Is it going to be Laine or Connor or Besser, Kachuk? Who do you think is going to be the big name that falls and really gets this ball rolling? Or do you think it's not going to matter? We might see Point sign and everybody else goes, nah, I don't like that. It's so weird. Unrestricted free agents, they all get signed right away. For the most part, the big names. Restricted free agents, there's no pressure. Something needs to happen to put pressure on the team and the player to get these deals done. Fix it. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.